What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever video mock draft presented by Between the Line Sports. I'm your host, James Ivy Williams, founder and CEO of Between the Line Sports. Excuse my voice, I'm coming off a little cold, so please forgive if it cracks or is a little raspy or whatever. I'm doing my best to kind of push through. We're just going to go over our top 30 draft picks in the 2022-2023 mock draft. Our official mock of 1 through 60 will be up on our website at btlhoops.org, so you can go over there and look at the entire mock draft, 1 through 60. We don't have teams selected right now because we try to wait until those slots are solidified. So right now, this is just going to be the top 1 through 30 on this video and 1 through 60 on the website. A precursor before we begin. Some draft picks are picked because of talent, skill set, potential, what you can do for me now. So there's no true science to this. Some guys are going to be projected high based off of potential. Some guys are going to be ranked high off what their skill sets are currently. And there's going to be a little bit in between moving forward. So without further ado, let's get into the top 30. At number 1, we have, with no surprise, Victor Wembanyama, the 19-year-old 7'4" center from Metropolitan 92 in France. I was lucky enough to see Victor play this past fall in October when they came over to play G League Ignite. If you're at the number 1 pick, you draft Victor Wembanyama. But skill set wise, Victor is a unique basketball player, something that we have never seen before. Victor has the ability to shoot it from the perimeter, off the dribble, off the catch. He can put the ball on the floor and create for himself. He has the innate ability to recover with his unique length and athleticism. He is the epitome of what a unicorn is. At number 2, Sterling Scoot Henderson, the 18-year-old 6'3" point guard out of Marietta, Georgia, by way of G League Ignite in Henderson, Nevada. I've had the pleasure of watching Scoot since the 10th grade. And what I can say first is that Scoot's progression from 17-year-old to 18-year-old and soon to be 19-year-old is astronomical. When Scoot was in high school, he was 100 miles an hour running up and down the court. He'd get into the lane whenever he wants, which he still can do. But now he's more physically strong. He's always had really long arms, really big hands. But my biggest takeaway from watching Scoot over the past couple of years is his ability to make reads as a point guard. He makes every correct read. He makes pocket passes. He makes hooks passes. You know, he gets into the air, uses athleticism to manipulate the defense to find guys in the corners. Whatever pass you need Scoot to make, he can make. He is, to me, a combination of a young Derrick Rose and a prime Russell Westbrook. You know, just someone that can impose their will physically, someone that can get into the paint whenever they want, finishes well around the lane, and has the ability that I believe to be a really good on-ball defender at the next level once he kind of locks into that side of the ball. At number 3, we have Brandon Miller, the freshman out of Alabama, the 6'9" small forward. Again, this is another guy I've had the luxury of watching since high school. The cool thing about Brandon is that what you're seeing at Alabama is only a small portion of what Brandon truly can do offensively, which is a lot. So Brandon is primarily operating as a primary ball handler, operating the pick and roll, creating his shots off the dribble and getting his shots off the catch. He's shooting right around 43% from the three-point line right now. But the cool thing is this: if you watch Brandon in high school, USA basketball, things like that, EYBL, Brandon has a nice mid-range game as well. Kind of reminds you of a young Jason Tatum, footwork, jab step, pump fakes, things like that. And he's an elite athlete. Brandon is an elite athlete. He actually jumped over a player in high school one time in an actual game. So Brandon has a lot more to his bag. So I think when he gets to the NBA, they put the ball in his hands, he'll have a lot more to showcase outside of his just three-point shooting, which he's doing that at a really elite level right now. At number 4, this is our first surprise in my estimation. Ausar Thompson, the 19-year-old 6'7" small forward out of Overtime Elite, the City Reapers. Ausar, for me, I feel like is the more polished of the 2 Thompson twins. For me, his ability, his improved shooting from the three-point line is one thing that I love to see a lot about him. The next thing, he's also showed the ability to make some mid-range jumpers off the dribble. He's a willing passer. He's an elite athlete, and he's a dog on defense, right? He's a dog on defense. And so for me, Ausar has the more polished game of the 2 Thompson twins right now. At number 5, we have Amen Thompson, also 19-year-old 6'7" small forward out of Overtime Elite, City Reapers. Now, Amen probably gets more of the pub because he's typically doing more of the dynamic aspects of the game. He's dunking on people, blocking shots. Also a willing passer, can create off the dribble, gets into the lane whenever he wants, and a dog on defense as well. The only thing that I think that separated the two for me was Amin's lack of shooting consistency from the perimeter. And so for me, that is why Asura actually ascended above Amin in our mock draft. So that's our top 5. At number 6, we have Cam Whitmore out of Villanova, the 6'7", physically strong, small forward, 19 years old, freshman out of Villanova by way of the DMV. Super athletic, physically strong, finishes well through contact, can create for himself off the dribble, shoots it pretty well from the perimeter, and has the ability to be a really good on-ball defender as well. At number 7, we have Cason Wallace, the 6'4" point guard, shooting guard from the University of Kentucky. For me, Cason is probably one of the best on-ball perimeter defenders in college right now. Cason has the ability to walk into steals. He has really quick hands, really good lateral quickness, plays the passing lanes very well, all those things. And on top of that, he's shooting the ball really well from the perimeter and finishes well in and around the lane. At number 8, we have Jairus Walker, the 6'8" power forward from the University of Houston, also a DMV kid. Another kid I've seen since high school, so I've been watching him for a while. He's definitely was more of a pass first kind of point forward in high school, but he has the ability to do a lot of things really well. He can create for himself off the dribble. He loves to play make for his teammates in the open court in transition. He finishes well through contact. He's getting more to be intentional, creating shots for himself off the dribble and finishing well in the lane as well. He rebounds well off the glass. He can push in transition. All these things bode well for Jairus Walker at the number 8 pick from the University of Houston. At number 9, we have Gregory GG Jackson out of the University of South Carolina, another kid I've seen through high school. So as you can see, there's a trend here for me. So another kid I've seen from high school. GG was probably going to be in the top 5 of the 2023 high school graduating class if he had not reclassed and went on to college early at the University of South Carolina. I've seen him several times this year in person already. You see the tools that Gigi has. He rebounds well for his position. He can make open threes from the perimeter. He cuts well. He finishes around the rim. He has really good size, and he's a really good athlete. And he plays with a really high motor. At number 10, we have Keante George out of the University out of Baylor, 6'4" combo guard, freshman. Again, another guy I've seen since high school. Keante can play a multitude of styles as well. Keante can create for himself off the dribble. He can be a volume shooter. He can be a playmaker. Keante does a lot of things well. He's not the best athlete, but he does enough to create space for himself. If he gets his shoulders value, he has the ability to get his shot off. So that's what I like about Keante George, and he's kind of like a instant offense for Baylor right now, which they need. At 11, we have Anthony Black, another freshman, another player I've seen since high school, University of Arkansas, rather, 6'7" wing, small forward, combo guard kind of person. He's kind of a perimeter player pretty much. He's playing the point guard right now for Arkansas, but Anthony has the ability to make every pass. Again, he's a playmaking wing for his teammates. He also can shoot the open shot. He's athletic, gets a tip dunk game almost, it seems like, cuts well off the ball, can make a catch and shoot 3. But what I really like about Anthony are these 2 things: his ability to pass, he makes every pass, and his ability to get after it on the defensive end, getting steals, getting deflections, playing the passing lanes, using his length to negate passes as well. All those things bode well for Anthony Black at number 11. At number 12, we have Darawn Whitehead, 6'6", freshman from Duke University, small forward, another guy I've seen out of high school. Darawn, for me, was probably one of the most polished high school players that came out of high school last year. He went to Mount Vernon pretty much his entire high school career, starting in 8th grade, from 8th grade all the way to a senior. And I think he is conditioned to be a really good piece for a team. He makes open shots. He has really good size. He's strong. He's not going to be overpowered on the defensive end. He can hold his own. He can create for himself off the dribble. He rebounds well for his position. He does a little bit of everything. He's probably what I would consider a jack of all trades. Doesn't do anything necessarily elite, but everything overall combined with his size and strength and athleticism makes him a top 15 pick, a lottery pick in the 2023 NBA draft. At number 13, we have Maxwell Lewis, sophomore, 6'7" small forward out of Pepperdine in Malibu, California. Maxwell is kind of a riser to some. Some of you guys may not have heard of Maxwell, but Maxwell has a lot in his bag. Maxwell has the ability to play in the mid-range. He can create for himself off the dribble. He can put the ball on the floor, play make for his teammates. He's a willing passer. He rebounds it well for his position. He doesn't necessarily get after it on the defensive end, but I think because he carries so much of the load on the offensive end, that kind of negates that. I think at the next level, in the right situation, he can adapt and will become a much better defender at the next level. At number 14, another riser, Jett Howard, freshman out of the University of Michigan by way of Florida, 6'8" small forward, another guy I've seen out of high school. Jett has more of an NBA game. Even in high school, he had more of an NBA game. He just kind of plays the right way. When spacing is not right, he didn't necessarily outshine his counterparts in high school. But Jett has the ability to shoot, pass, put the ball on the floor, rebound well for his position, defend multiple positions. The Jett's kind of polished already, because I think, obviously growing up in a house where your dad is a former NBA player for 17, 18 years, NBA coach, now the head coach of the University of Michigan, like he probably picked up a lot of basketball skill sets and attributes by osmosis, just by being around his dad and being in the gym with other basketball players. I feel like Jett has the ability to really kind of make an impact and step on the NBA court because he really knows how to play basketball. At numbers 15, this is probably the biggest surprise in the first round, in my opinion. Bryce Cinnabon. I'm probably saying his name wrong, and I do apologize if I am. I have seen Bryce also since high school. Bryce is from Florida. Played on the Each One Teach One AAU team out of Orlando and on the EYBL circuit. Bryce has always been kind of somewhat of a surprise to people. I think people looked at his physique and thought that maybe he could not play, but Bryce is athletic. He can create his own shot. He finishes well in traffic in the lane. He's a willing passer, but Bryce, in my opinion, is just a bucket. I think he just knows how to go create his own shot, get his own shot. And I think he's going to be a steal and a surprise in the 2023 NBA draft. At number 16, we have Quavion Smith, sophomore combo guard out of NC State, 6'3". Quavion came back to NC State this year. I think if he had stayed in the draft last year, he would have been drafted in the first round, but probably a little late. So he came back and he's actually improved his stock quite a bit, now being in the mid-first round at number 16 here with us. Quavion can create his own shot. His percentages aren't great, but I think NC State isn't that good of a team right now. So he is a primary focus for most defenses, and he's taking tough contested shots a lot, but still averaging around 20 points a game in the ACC. They've already knocked off two top-tier ACC teams in the past 2 weeks with Duke and Miami. And I think he's just a gamer. He just knows how to play basketball. I say this a lot about smaller guards. With smaller guards, the one thing you want more than anything else is for them to be able to instill some sort of fear offensively, defensively, or with a certain skill set. And Quavion definitely instills a fear of somebody you don't want to let shoot the ball. So Quavion Smith at number 16. At number 17, we have Grady Dick, the 6'7" shooting guard, small forward, wing rather, out of Kansas. Another guy I've seen since high school. Grady's pretty versatile. His best NBA transferable attribute is probably his catch and shoot ability from the three-point line. He's also a sneaky athlete. You can't be surprised if Grady will catch a body on somebody if he gets going downhill. You must look out for Grady for sure. He needs to work on his handle a little bit. But I think overall his ability to rebound, shoot it from the perimeter, and finish athletically around the rim makes him a solid pick right here at number 17. At number 18, we have Darawn Holmes, the second sophomore from Dayton, from the University of Dayton, 6'10", power forward. Another guy I've seen since high school. Darawn is a interesting prospect because he's kind of a inside-outside kind of big. He has the ability to play with his back to the basket, finish well around the rim, and he can step out and shoot the three ball and pick and pop in trail situations. I think he's shooting around 38% from three right now as we speak. Darawn has a unique skill set that he can be a stretch four immediately stepping into the NBA. At number 19, this is probably a surprise and not for a good reason. We have Nick Smith Jr. out of Arkansas, the 6'4", 6'5" shooting guard freshman, another guy I've seen since high school. Nick's pretty much been hurt primarily the entire season, only logging 5 games so far in the 2022-2023 season. But Nick is an attacking guard, has the ability to create for himself off the dribble. can shoot the ball well from the perimeter. I worry about Nick's durability as he has been hurt a lot. I think getting Nick right here at 19 would be a steal for somebody, though. I think just the lack of production, I think, is what I worry about. And that's why I have him at number 19 right now. But Nick has the ability to create for himself off the dribble, play make for others. He is an intense player, so you will get after on the defensive end as well. At number 20, this is probably our first international player, the second international player, James the Yang, the 18-year-old 6'10 center who's currently playing for FC Barcelona right now. James is just an athlete, though. James is like a pick and roll lob threat. Throw it to him, he's going to catch it. He's going to block shots. He's gonna switch on the perimeter, things like that. So James he has really good size and strength for 6'10" power forward center kind of guy. But he's pretty much a vertical threat, lob threat, offensive rebounder, getting putbacks, things like that. I love James for sure. At number 21, probably another surprise for some people, Imani Bates, technically a freshman. Remember, he did reclass, and that's why he was not eligible for the draft last year. So this is technically his true freshman year in college. From Eastern Michigan, the 6'10" small forward. I've seen Imani Bates in person recently when they played against the University of South Carolina in Columbia. It was probably Imani's best college game to date. He shot the ball really well from the three-point line, off the dribble, off the catch. He went into the mid-post, making turnaround jumpers. Imani can just shoot the ball. I think the one thing about players like Imani, if you can shoot the ball and you have good size, you can find your way onto an NBA court. I think Imani's struggles will be with his overall size himself, where he has to put on some weight a little bit. And also, I think he needs to improve as a rebounder and a playmaker for his teammates. At number 22, huge surprise right here, Noah Clowney, another guy I've seen since high school, the kid out of University of Alabama, 6'10" power forward freshman by way of South Carolina. Noah is a steal. Noah is a stretch four that will shoot the ball and has a quick trigger. He runs the floor very well, so he's a rim runner. You can throw it up to him and catch it in lobs. He's pretty athletic. He can block shots. And one of the things that I remember most about Noah when I first saw him in high school as a 10th grader, the first thing I remember noticing about Noah was that he was one of the most defensively sound sophomores I had ever seen. He always stayed vertical, hands going straight up and down, never reached for the ball. He made it very hard for people to score over him on the interior. So that's one of the things I really liked about Noah. He's a good rebounder. He's going to contest shots. Noah Clowney at number 22. At number 23, we have Khalil Ware, freshman, 7-foot center out of Oregon. This is going to be more of a projection as an overproduction. I think Khalil has a lot of tools that are transferable and translatable at the next level in the NBA. He makes an impact as a rebounder. He contests shots at the rim. He can shoot the three ball. And he has the ability to stretch the floor overall. He also does a good job moving his feet laterally and can switch out on the perimeter and contain a ball handler. So all these things bode well for Khalil Ware in the NBA draft. At number 24, Nicola Dursick. I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong, and I do apologize. Nicola is a 19-year-old 6'8" small forward out of Mega in Serbia. Nicola has a unique skill set. He's forward, 2-3, can put it on the floor a little bit, can shoot it from the three, has the ability to play both forward positions, can defend both forward positions, runs the floor pretty well, finishes well around the lane. All these things makes him a quality pickup right here at the number 24 pick. At number 25, we have Chris Murray, a 6'8" power forward out of Iowa. He is the twin brother of Keegan Murray, who was drafted in the early lottery last year by the Sacramento Kings. Chris Murray has stepped into that role that his brother had last year, currently averaging over 20 points a game, about 8 rebounds, shooting it well from the three-point line. Pretty much very similar game to his brother. I just don't think he has the handle that his brother had or necessarily the ability to shoot it as well as his brother did last year. But I think he's a really solid player, has the ability to play both forward positions, and his ability to shoot allows him to get on the floor right away. At 26, we have Derek Lively II, 7'1" freshman center out of Duke, another guy I've seen since high school. This is also a potential overproduction pick right here. I think Derek's issue is that Duke likes to play two bigs, and obviously Kyle Filipkowski He's more of a back to the basket big, and that's why he kind of thrives in the system that Duke's playing in. I think Derek needed to be in a more open court running gun style of play, which will allow him to rim run, get lobs, put back dunks, things that when he does have highlights and spectacular plays, those are the plays that he typically has. But Derek also has the ability to shoot from the 3-point line. He's not doing it here now. And I believe that Derek will surprise a lot of people with his ability to stretch the floor from the 3-point line, his ability to rebound, block shots, finish above the rim, be a vertical spacer. All those things bode well for Derek Lively. At number 27, we have Jordan Hawkins, sophomore, 6'5" guard out of UConn. Jordan's like a do-it-all utility kind of guard. He can create for himself off the dribble. He rebounds well for his position. He gets after it on the defensive end. He creates his own shot, can shoot the ball from the 3-point line. He does a little bit of everything. Plays with a high motor for a guard as well. And I think right here at 27, he'll be a steal for a really good team, a team that will be in the playoffs, obviously. And he'll have the ability to learn and grow under the tutelage of some other probably veteran NBA wings and guards at the next level. At 28, we have Jalen Hood Shafino, freshman combo guard, point guard, shooting guard from the University of Indiana. Jalen's another kid that is a surprise, but also I've seen him since high school. Jalen is a playmaking point guard, pretty much, combo guard. He creates opportunities for his teammates. He loves to get into the lane, drop off to bigs at the block, or kick out to open shooters on the perimeter. He finishes well in the lane as well. I would like to see him improve his 3-point shot, but at 28, this is a steal for somebody picking Jalen Hood Shafino at number 28. At number 29, we have Baba Miller, freshman from Florida State by way of Spain, 6'11", power forward. Actually, this is one of the guys I had not seen, but my international guy, Adolfo, has seen him several times and really truly believes that this guy is a steal. He thinks that this guy should be a lot higher than 29. Super skilled, long, athletic, can put the ball on the floor, finishes well around the rim, can shoot it off the dribble, shoots over the top of people really well. Nice strong mechanics on his jump shot. Just needs to put on a little weight. And at number 30, we have Ryan Rupert, 18-year-old, 6'7" small forward from France by way of the New Zealand Breakers. Another interesting, long, athletic project. Can put it on the floor, shoots it decent from the perimeter, needs to improve his consistency from the 3-point line, but he definitely can shoot it, has the mechanics to knock down shots, can make for others as well, and has the ability to really play the passing lanes and get out in transition and finish around the rim. That is our top 30 picks from 2022-2023 BTL Sports NBA Mock Draft 1.0. If you want to see the rest of the mock draft, please head over to btlhoops.org and you can check that out. btlhoops.org. You can check that out. Stay tuned for more content just like this. This is our first one. Do me a favor. If you made it to the end of the video, please put a hashtag ScoutLife in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also go over to Instagram and Twitter at BTL Hoops. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Peace.